Well, what can I say? This time around I'm celebrating 1 year of reviews.
This, of course, is not to be confused with my 1 year anniversary with YouTube, which was August 18th. The only videos I put up that day was some stuff from college, one of which was called How to Make a Movie Trailer. After a while, I saw it was just sitting at 800 views and just as many spelling errors, so I decided to take it down. My first review was of Mario Party 8, and I posted it on September 17th. I'd love to talk about all the things that I've achieved in a year, but I don't make videos fast enough to actually accomplish anything. I'd love to brag about all the subscribers I got. However, nobody seems to have noticed that the pure and beautiful concept of subscriptions has been utterly destroyed by this sub-for-sub crowd. And Fred. And then there's the 2 music videos I made this year. Actually, I'm down to 1 now because YouTube and its corporate friends saw that my Moat music video was getting too popular and deemed it necessary to remove it. Oh, come on, guys. Don't you realize that you can only have fun if you're breaking copyright laws? Here's something I learned. When you sin against YouTube that badly, not even the owner can watch the video. It really doesn't bother me because I have it backed up, and backed up again, and on DVD, and I had the raw footage on magnetic tape, filmed in high definition. So the Wii was launched November 19th, 2006, and I got mine that very night.
Twilight Princess. Holding the game right next to your head is kind of unprofessional. Twilight Princess was one of the launch titles, and was the one to get. In fact, it's considered to be the best one since Ocarina of Time. Let's start right there.
Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64 was the first Zelda game that I had played. In fact, back then I still thought that the main character's name was Zelda. Reasonable to assume because this guy's name is Metroid, right? Yeah, it was really good, but I didn't think it was the greatest game ever made like so many other people seem to think. Next was Majora's Mask, which was released on the same day as the PlayStation 2. It was a really weird game. It was completely awesome and blew hardcore at the same time. Then we got Wind Waker on the Gamecube. I remember when the first screenshots were released for this game, I heard gunfire, which I later learned on was Nintendo shooting themselves in the foot. Cartoon Zelda didn't seem like a very, well, not retarded idea. But really, it was an underestimated game that rocked my world. About a year later, Nintendo released this trailer showing off the next Zelda, and it was so beautiful it made my crotch leak. But of course, it's a bittersweet reminder of how the game was delayed so much that they ended up releasing it on the Wii. And right about now, you're begging me to stop making stupid jumps on the timeline and do a frickin' review already. I would like to remind you though that I don't really do reviews, I have adventures, and this isn't either. Instead, it's a celebration. So, on with the review. Epic. In Twilight Princess, you get to play as Otacon. Well, that's who I played as. And in a sheer stroke of copying Final Fantasy, you get to name your horse also. In this role-playing game, you assume the role of a farm boy, or teenager, adolescent, young man, whatever, post-Peach Fuzz era, and you're tasked with giving a gift to the royal family. I thought it was weird that we never found out what the gift was, because pretty soon baddies march in, steal the children of the village, including the girl that you're in love with, who later on doesn't even remember your name. Oh my god, it's high school all over. After that, Twilight covers the land and you're turned into a wolf. As to why Nintendo chose a wolf, I have no idea. Probably because they thought that Clover Studios was being too original. An imp named Midna supplants Navi as the being that tells you where to go, just in case you forgot, and you're off to save the world by slaying beasts and collecting rupees. The plot is just a way of driving you to each temple, and the temples are really what drive the game. Every Zelda game that I've played is fun, because it's all about doing smaller things that add up to bigger things and eventually saving the land of Hyrule. You know you're doing things right when it gives you little audio cues. I find this to be a lot more fun than trekking a huge overworld and fighting enemies at random. There is a huge overworld to be trekked, but you can skip it. In fact, I recommend that you skip it, because the illusion of more heart pieces is shattered when all that you can find is rupees that can't even fit in your frickin' wallet, and the only way to get a bigger wallet is to give bugs to Agatha, and I'd say don't even bother with her. She's a psycho bitch. Come to think of it, there are a lot of flamboyant characters in this game. There's that wise Native American, the crazy pyrotechnic, your naked mirror, a guy who's way too happy to have his job, and holy shit, those are huge tits! Of course I had fun playing Twilight Princess, but after a while it began to piss me off. Graphically, it's one of the best looking games on the Wii, but I always found myself saying, the Gamecube could do this. And not only can the Gamecube do this, the Gamecube did do this! So yeah, Wii developers are lazy. Now, I am not saying that the graphics for the Wii version should have been improved, but I am saying that I was blown away when I figured out that they were just a farce. Historically, Link has always been left-handed, and this has been true all the way up to the Gamecube. But since the Wii Remote is used with the right hand, Link has to follow suit. And instead of reworking a few models and all that, Nintendo went for the shotgun approach and just flipped the entire game. Here, I'll prove it to you. So if you're familiar with the Wii version, it'd probably be easier to navigate a house of mirrors in outer space than it would be to play the Gamecube version. Back to the Wii Remote. You swing your sword by swinging the controller, as expected, but you'll perform different attacks depending on what button you're pushing at the time. And for really strong attacks, swinging is not required. And no, your hand does not get tired from this game. Mine didn't, or maybe I just get too much practice. Haha, penis joke. But there are problems that I think everybody can agree exist. The Legend of Zelda series is in dire need of voiceovers. When I play a game like The Blob and I have to read, not a problem. But for a game that you spend hours entrenched in text, something has to change. There's always that BS response that Nintendo gives of, well, we don't want to give Link a voice. Well fine, don't give him a voice. He doesn't say anything in the first place. For everybody else, I don't care if they use the Toads from Super Mario Sunshine, just give him a voiceover! And this next one goes out to all developers. Does anybody remember Dark Cloud? Well, I'm trying not to because I quit the game. Not put it on hiatus, not save it for a rainy day. I quit that game because it was determined to tell me that I was low on water by being more annoying than a kid at Safeway. You provided me with a health meter, I will look at that. Nintendo also has this crazy ability to make us do the same thing across games without us complaining, oh yes, I just went there. Actually, I'm just bringing up the argument that a lot of people like to make, and that is that Twilight Princess sticks too closely to the Zelda formula, and more specifically, Ocarina of Time. And while they do have a valid point, like the Master Sword, Castle Town, Death Mountain, that village, music, had to beat 3 dungeons before the plot is exposed, items are repeated, heck, I'd go as far as to say that the game rips off Halo because you can drive a warthog. But stick with me on this one, it's basic algebra. While every formula has constants, it also has variables. Concerning reoccurring items like the iron boots, you just add magnets to the mix and then suddenly Link's walking on the walls. You got bombs, you got arrows, you got bomb arrows. You got equestrian combat, you have advanced fighting techniques. It has the most epic ending I've ever seen on a Nintendo console. With better graphics comes better presentation, the game is just badass. You know what else is badass? Ganondorf, the recurring bad guy in these games. When you can punch a spirit and turn it into dust, it kinda puts a chainsaw bayonet to shame, which should explain this head gesture. The highest award I saw Twilight Princess get is
Critics' Choice,
which is a crying shame because, yep, I'm gonna say it, Twilight Princess is better than Ocarina of Time.
Before you get all butthurt, let's take a step back. If there's one thing I learned in 1 year of reviews, it's that it's very hard for somebody to change my opinion. I said my piece, please respect it. Don't be hating during a time of congratulating.
A video that came out after Twilight Princess was that movie trailer, and I'm glad it was fake because historically, video game movies have been bad except for maybe Super Mario Bros. And Hitman. I think The Legend of Zelda would be better suited for a sitcom.
Honey,
Yes, heir to the royal family?
have you seen my light arrows?
No. Did you lend it to one of your Zora friends?
We need to talk.
What's the matter?
Link, you're the hero of time. You've crossed oceans, you've endured the Twilight Realm, and you did it all for me. But lately, you've been ignoring me.
What are you talking about? I got you those flowers yesterday. Hold these.
Okay. Oh, come on, Link. I know you were just cutting flowers in the garden because you were looking for rupees.
Someone's got to pay the rent around here. You gonna get that?
You're closer.
Who is it?
FedEx.
Who is it, fairy boy?
It's Ganondorf. Again.
Oh, cut! Link, why are you so calm? You're about to embark on a quest against your evil nemesis.
He's on the other side of the door.
You just don't get it.
Storm,
What?
must I always wear this dress? It's chafing.
Look, you didn't seem to have a problem with it in your castle. What's wrong with this place?
I'll be in my trailer.
Your red bill, sir?
Oh, thanks, babe.